Good afternoon, Mets fans, and welcome to a late afternoon edition of Driving with Mr. Met. I am Mr. Met, and to quote Gary Cohen, it has happened. Yes, for the first time since the end of May, the New York Mets actually won a 3-game series. Round of applause for the Mets. The Mets beat the Padres today behind sort of an offensive day. Not offensive, but offensive in terms of runs being scored. What's offensive is that Jacob deGrom suffered the only loss of this series. It's just crazy that deGrom continues to get the lack of run support that he gets, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. But the Mets did win this series. I want to talk about it today. I want to talk about the upcoming series in Pittsburgh and what I'm going to be up to this weekend. So as I was saying, the Mets took 2 out of 3 from the Padres this afternoon. It's the first win since first series victory since May. Interestingly, my brother and I were at the last series that the Mets won. It was the Diamondbacks series, and we were there to see the Nimmo walk-off on Saturday, albeit we watched it from the bar at the Holiday Inn across the street from Citi Field, the bar known as the Pine. And then on Sunday, of course, the Rosario 2-home run day. But anyway, back to today and the present. The Mets did take the 2 out of 3 from San Diego. Interesting that, deGrom, again, just tough luck, cannot get a break. I mean, the Mets lose the deGrom start. You can't make it up. It's like a joke when this guy gets so little run support, and then the next 2 games the Mets bats come alive. It's just crazy, and it is a coincidence. It has to be a coincidence. There's no other explanation for it, but it doesn't make it any less or any more palatable, I guess, is the way that I want to look at it. So yesterday Wheeler pitched very well again. Zach Wheeler has pitched incredibly well this year, and as I said on Monday, I'm more and more so opposed to trading Wheeler, and I continue to go back to the Murphy analogy, where it looks like the corner has been turned for Zach Wheeler and the page has been turned, and it's looking like this is a new guy. This is like a new pitcher. The Mets, Dave Eiland, Mickey Callaway, they found something in Zach Wheeler that was missing before, and now they've unearthed it. And why should the Mets let another team take advantage of that? They did it with Murphy. I don't want to see that happen with Wheeler. And so, despite the rumors and despite the talk about, this might be Wheeler's last start with the Mets, it's just rumors, it's just conjecture. Nothing is really going to happen. Very much like the San Diego Padres are interested in Noah Syndergaard talks. I just don't think there's any merit to that. Although, look, from a Mets standpoint, the Padres are a fabulous trade partner because their farm system is so ridiculously deep. I think they have 8 of the top 100 prospects in their own farm system, at least according to Baseball America's top 100. I think that's who it was. But regardless, they have a really stacked farm system. And so if the Mets were to pair up and trade with someone, I would hope it's someone like the Padres, who might be willing to overpay because of the depth of their system. They might give you a higher ranking guy. You're not going to get Fernando Tatis Jr., but you might get their number 2 or number 3 prospect. Again, I'm not advocating for trading Noah Syndergaard or Zach Wheeler or Steven Matz, and most definitely not Jacob deGrom. But if you do find the trading partner, you got to hope it's someone that can really, really help the Mets in the long term, and the Padres are a team that might be able to do that. Before the game today, there was a press conference, and in the press conference, Yoenis Cespedes and John Ricco sat side by side and announced that Cespedes will have season-ending surgery on his heels. There will be 2 separate surgeries. It looks like 1 per leg, 1 leg at a time, or 1 heel at a time, or whatever. And that the recovery time will be 8 to 10 months, no fewer than 8 to 10 months. And that cuts into 2019. And, the stink about that for me is, all right, so how long have the Mets known, how long has Cespedes known that this heel injury is a significant issue? How long has he been rehabbing through the pain of his heels hurting? Has it been 1 month? Has it been 2 months? Has it been 3 months? Has he been affected by this heel issue since spring training? I don't know, because nobody asked that during the press conference today, but I wish someone had, because if you go back to 4 months ago, where we're talking about the beginning of March, middle of March, end of March, beginning of April, the season hadn't even started yet, and that would have made more sense to say, you know what, Cespedes is going to have season-ending surgery in spring training, and we're not gonna worry about him being on the team in 2018. Instead, we're gonna get a healthy Cespedes back in 2019. Now, someone did ask the question today: will this solve the other problems that have been plaguing Cespedes? And again, I don't think we got a really solid answer on that. And I know medically you can't really say, yes, this is the magic trick, this answers all the questions. The heels are better, the hamstring will be better, the hips will be better, everything else will be better. We don't know. We really don't know. But I would love to hear something a little bit more definitive about what's going to happen with Cespedes, now that we know he's going to miss probably the first 2 months or 3 months of the 2019 season, depending on the rehab process. It's really scary to know that he's not going to be back. He may not be back until next June. That's really scary, because he's such an important part of this lineup. And how Mets is it, right? How Mets is it to bring a guy off the disabled list, to have that guy hit a home run in his first night back, play that one game, and then immediately go on the disabled list again to miss the rest of the season and then next season? That is just one of the Metsiest things I've ever seen. Shifting gears from Cespedes and what's happening with him or what's not happening with him, let's talk about the weekend. The Mets are going to be heading into Pittsburgh probably very shortly. They're going to be on their way to play the red-hot Pirates, the Pirates who've won 12 games straight, who have turned their season around. Of course it would be that the Mets are going in there to face a red-hot Pittsburgh Pirates team. The Mets, however, will not be alone visiting Pittsburgh this weekend. I will be on my way to Pittsburgh as well. On Friday, I'm driving out with my brother to Pittsburgh, and we're going to see the Friday game, which will be started by Mr. Vargas, which will be great. I mean, a red-hot offensive team facing Vargas. What could go wrong? But hey, I said that today about Anthony Swarzak and his nearly 8 ERA coming in for a 6-out save, and that worked out okay. So, but anyway, I'll be in Pittsburgh at PNC Park on Friday and Saturday, along with my brother, to see the Mets play the Pirates. Fortunately, we get to see deGrom pitch on Saturday, which is always a joy. That to me is the thing I'm most looking forward to. I haven't seen deGrom pitch this year, so I'm looking forward to seeing the guy who is our Cy Young in person. With that in mind, however, I'm gonna be away for the next couple of days, and so therefore I will more than likely not be posting any drive-in videos until probably August 1st. That'll be more than likely the next time I'll be able to get in front of the camera as it stands right here. So until that time, I want to thank you for watching. I want to send my heartfelt thanks to everyone who pays attention to these videos. I want to also say thanks to Mad Wax for his comments on YouTube on my last video, which I will respectfully disagree with almost entirely, but I appreciate it nonetheless. For those of you who are not following me on Twitter, I wish you would. You can do that by going to twitter.com and looking up at Mr_Met. That's MISTER_MET. So until August the 1st or so, thanks again for watching, and as always, let's go Mets.